Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and in today's video we're going spreading dung. So we're in the 6290, the mighty 90, and the K2, our 6 cubic meter K2. You may notice the door is open because the last day it was out, the pipe for closing the door on one side burst. We replaced one side, now the other side's gone, and I want to get what I'm doing done. I have a couple 4 or 5 load to spread. There's some heavy rain coming this evening, and I want to get the dung out on bottoms before the ground gets too wet. I just want to make sure I get it done. We'll fix the door afterward. It's not going to cause an issue, shouldn't anyways. We'll go get the telly there, we'll go fill her up. It doesn't take a lot to fill the K2 now. So a couple of buckets, there's 3 or 4 load there, so it's not too bad. It's the cleanings out of the shed so far, and a small bit of the wood chip that was left over from when Michael was spreading. So Michael spent 2 days putting out what wood chip was in the pit, that out onto the tillage ground on the new farm, which I'm hoping to put cover crop in. There's heavy rain coming. Just turn off the boom suspension. There's heavy rain coming next weekend. I'm hoping to have it in before then, but the rain that's coming this evening could leave the bottoms where I want to put this, so where the heifers were, where we done the topping and we cut the rushes, but we actually never got back to spray them. Father Phil never got around to it. I don't do any of the spraying, that's Father Phil's department. But I want to get the dung out and just to be feeding it over the winter, to just get it to grow, get you know, bring nutrients into it before we took on the farm. I can't imagine the kind of ground it is. Probably never seen a whole lot of nutrients put back onto it. The wood chip, how did it spread? What we had done is we kept moving it from left to right of the pit to keep turning it, to keep trying to break down the wood chip. The wood chip was well shook in it now. There was still bits in it, but it was well shook. There's a little bit that you can see in it, even in the stuff that we have now. One more bucket. Don't want to overfill the bucket because I have to travel down the road, and I don't want to be annoying the neighbours be losing muck on the road. We spread a good bit of our own bottoms with dung at the back of the pit, and we also spread some of our silage ground with dung out the back of the pit after third cut. So we covered red clover and covered some of the smaller fields. Now we didn't do the big field or the stony field, but we covered some of our smaller 4 and 5 acre silage fields. All the bigger silage fields got what was left of the slurry in the slatted shed and in the tower and on the tank on the out farm. We'll go by what we have there. Please tell me this is going to come out. No. Yeah, knife out of telly. Something that we done this time last year, actually, while Rory was back here at the pumpkin patch, himself, Liam, and Father Phil put on greedy boards onto this. So we always had boards on it that sat lower, but we went and we put these on it, new boards on it. We kept it up that couple of inches so liquid doesn't tend to flow out of it, or the sloppier stuff, but it gave us a little bit more capacity. That pipe, if you're wondering, is for the motor on the chain. We've had to replace pipes and we cannot get them weaved back in through the box section. No matter how hard we tried, when we pulled out the pipe, put in the pipe, no way. The biggest issue with this spreader is it's small, it's a 6 cube. It's probably too small for the amount of dung that we would spread. It's handy on softer ground. We would cover a good bit of bottomy ground for customers, and I like to try and get a bit out for ourselves on bottoms. But if I had a 12 or a 15, probably be the one load in it. But anyways, hey yo, that's what it is. We'll be on down to the inside the gate. So we'll do the right hand paddock, which is slightly bigger than the left first. And we're going to be doing it short ground, so going back and forth as we go down the field. Just in case, because the further I go down, the wetter it gets. So I'll not be able to spread it as you might normally would. Yeah, that seems to be way too fast. I have to slow that down there now. I'll give her enough. Adjust my floor speed here. Yeah, it's set at 10. No idea why. Right, we'll go 4.5, see what that's like. That's better. Right, where we go. So we're going to be putting it out relatively light because I want to try and cover ground. That's kind of the goal. You can see the heifer's only off this about a week now, so there's no real growth on it. It's lovely and bare. It's in good order to get bed down. It'll be growing grass then over the winter for bringing them back to the next year's batch of heifers. Turn around to myself and then going back up. Yeah, no, I'm putting that out too heavy, or heavier than I want. Next the gate clean, so I'm not bringing muck back out onto the road. Yeah. One load is only going to do this top brow of the field, which is was about half an acre. I'll try and get a wee bit more than that covered, and as we get covered with the next load. So we're basically just getting the first paddock covered. So there's 5 paddocks. We're running both sides in 5 paddocks. So 2 acre paddocks for just under 40 heifers and bullocks. So a load just done 1 paddock. I want to try and get a bit more than that out of it now. Alright, that's just empty. Right. Interesting to see what ground is going to be like down here. See our lovely rushes? I went hell for leather on cutting them, but it's not too bad. There's no residuals left over from the rushes that I cut because we never got them baled. So you cannot see any sign of the rushes that I cut. They're gone. They've rotted back into the ground. Probably because they would be considered a young rush now. We should get away with spraying them first and then cutting them after the fact when they're dead, compared to this year, because they're a young rush. They'll absorb the spray much better, and we should get a better kill on them than trying to spray old rushes that hadn't been cut and then cutting them wouldn't have been as effective. Loading up with the second load. So one of the handiest things about this teleporter compared to the veneery, which is what we would usually do use that dung, is it's just easier to go around. It's more versatile, it's more nimble compared to the veneery without sacrificing on capacity. Because that was always the thing, if it was too tight to work the veneery in a spot where you were looking at loading dung or anything like that, you'd always get caught down with small telly, just the capacity was never in it. Not for these kind of jobs anyways. Makes a serious difference, so it does. A savage bit of a bucket to carry stuff. And one of the things, I'm yet to lift something that has set off the alarm on the teleporter to say it's too heavy, can't lift it. Where it literally the alarm goes off and she shuts down. Don't know, does she shut down the hydraulics or just not work? I'm not just entirely sure on that one. So now I have, when I was taking silage out the pit, you could really dog it into the face of it and make it throw that alarm, but not when actually lifting a bucket of stuff. Let's probably do this one now. Might put another bit in and we'll have 3 load out of it then. Yeah. We'll put another one in. Leave us with 3 load. We have the second load spread there. It done about another paddock and a half, and then we kind of start running into softer ground then. So this load will fill up now. The last load will put out onto the other side, or the other field. So there's two fields down there. One is 11 acres, one is 9 acres. We started in the 11 acre. And we'll go into the 9 acre. We'll do the top end of that field. The middle of that field is very wet. So we'll get the top end done with the last load, and that'll be it. Happy out. So it's running grand. About halfway down that first field done. We're going into this side now, and get about an acre-ish done out here. So it goes into very wet ground, then it goes into a good brow down at the bottom of the field. But I'll not make it through the wet ground with the load on. And we're spreading out here now. I suppose on the new farm, how has it gone so far this year? Well, we've got on top of all the old grass. All the old grass done, gone, finished, all done. Did we get any reseeding done? No, we did not. I would have loved to have got some reseeding done, but we did not. Anytime I kind of had an area ready, I couldn't get fodder fill to get sprayed off, and then there was grass back on it. So whether now we will be out wintering cattle where there's the yard in the middle of the farm on some of the fields that's around that, and whether the cattle tramp the ground if over the winter. If they do, then perfect excuse, them can grass seed. If not, I don't know. The longer we leave it, usually you want to try and get as much reseeding done in your first year, because that's when it makes the most financial sense to put in the effort, is in that first year. Every year after that, it makes less and less sense to be trying to get it done, because you just don't get the same benefit out of it. So yeah, a little bit annoyed about that, but there's not much I can do about it. Just when I had stuff ready, I couldn't get them sprayed. So yeah, that's where we're at that way. Hopefully now next year we get these rushes sprayed off. If we do, we should grow maybe slightly better grass or more grass out here, though it fed the heifers very well. They done all right, not over hectic, nothing exciting or special about it, but they done all right. But I kept them fed all summer, so quite productive in that regard, and possibly we could get a little bit more out of it if we were able to get rid of the rushes. So that would be the next big thing for this field, or these two fields, try and get the rushes sprayed off it. See, can we push the grass on another bit on it? See, can we get another bit of waking onto the heifers? The rest of the farm, we've the cover crop to go in on the tillage field, and the rest then, yeah, the rest is the rest. Hopefully we'll try and get some more paddocks done up on the large field on the inside, and get some of the other fields broken up. This year that we've done very little breaking up of them fields, just because of how, I don't know what's the best way of putting it, just awkward it was with the way the grass was growing and that. So hopefully next year now we get a better job done on that, and expand our drinker network out there to be able to get the better use out of it. So that would be the plan. So yeah, all in all, not too bad. But the big one, we got rid of all the dead old grass, and we have the place growing not too bad. It just probably needs a bit of lime in some places, and needs a lot of this, a lot of dung, a lot of slurry, just in areas that I'd say haven't seen it in a very long time, or maybe some places never seen it. It's kind of hard to know, you just don't know. But definitely a lot of manure will go a long way to increasing the fertility of the soil and keeping grass growth high. So we're just driving, turn the other way, just driving down by the edge. The camera will turn. Just driving down by the edge of the rushes. So we'll go back up the field now because there's no point. There's a bit of a dry spot down the hedge to my right, and then apart from that, nothing. Not a dicky bird. It's a soft bit of ground right out there now until you get to the far bit of grass. That's soft out there. Soft. Probably one to lock ashores, probably do a lot of it. I don't think we will be putting them in. So for what we'll be getting out of it, I don't think there's much point. Empty off the last of this load, we'll go back, pack this away, probably finish, but we don't know. We'll probably have one more dung load to go out before the end of the dung spreading season, just while we clean up around the yard and clean out of the passageways of the cattle. So we'll peg that out the last day and then we'll be clean, but we're basically, all manures is out now. Everything is well set up now. Just start bringing in the calves or the weanlings, yearlings, whatever you want to call them, as they run out of grass. And that's it done. That's the dung done for this year. So yeah, we'll be on back to the yard and we'll pack this out of the way. We'll leave it on it till the date. There's nothing else for this tractor to do. It's not needed for anything else. And we'll go wash the bucket of the telly, give it a quick rinse off just while the dung is wet. It's easy done. So we'll get that done and yeah, that's really it. And that's it. Telly's now quick rinse off with the hose there, just to make sure that she stays clean-ish. But yeah, that's the dung out. That's how things are now. Me and Liv are heading off now with 2 batches of calves to move. One to move to the big field to finish their final grazing rotation, and 1 batch to another silage field, which they have that one 2 paddocks, and then they're finished for in. So yeah, it's fast becoming winter. Anyways, look, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If any questions or anything like that, as always, hit me down in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. That's it from me.